Dear friends, in this discussion we will cover the very beginning and general concepts related with problem solving and programming. Algorithms and flowcharts are the most effective tools used for both problem solving and programming. In this module, we will discuss about the problem solving approach based on flowchart. Let us first look into the flowchart for structured programming. Structured programming is a programming paradigm aimed at improving the clarity, quality and development time of a computer program by making extensive use of subroutines, block structures and loops. Before going to the structured programming terminology, we need to find an optimal and clear solution for the problem. One of the best way to represent your solution of a particular problem is a flowchart. A flowchart is a type of diagram that represents an algorithm, workflow or process. It shows the steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting them with arrows. This diagrammatic representation illustrates a solution model to a given problem. Flowcharts are used in analyzing, designing, documenting or managing a process or program in various fields. The major structures included in a structured programming paradigm is sequence, decision, loop and cases. Using flowchart, we can simulate all these concepts of a structured programming. Also, this image level representation makes a easier understanding of given problem. A good flowchart is like a snapshot of a program which tells you at a glance where the information originates, how it handles the information and produces the desired outputs. A flowchart should be designed in such a way that the users are able to follow it easily. It should have sufficient details providing an accurate picture of what is going on in the flowchart. Flowcharts should be read from top to bottom and left to right. A flowchart usually have a plenty of white spaces without being crowded on the page. A flowchart should have a title based on what it represents. For example, naming a flowchart as flowchart of addition of two numbers. Select appropriate symbols while designing the flowchart. The symbols are discussed later in this section. The advantage of designing a flowchart are: the first one, it conveys better meaning. Since a flowchart is a pictorial representation of a program, it is easier for a programmer to understand and explain the logic of the program to some other programmer. The second one is analyzes the problem effectively. A macro flowchart that charts the main line of logic of a software system becomes a model that can be broken down into detailed parts for study and further analyze the system. Third, effective joining of a part of a system. A group of programmers are normally associated with the design of large software systems. Each programmer is responsible for designing only a part of the entire system. So, initially if each programmer draws a flowchart for his part of design, the flowchart of all the programmers can be placed together to visualize the overall system design. Any problem in linking the various parts of the system can be easily detected at this stage and the design can be accordingly modified. Flowcharts can thus be used as working model in the design of new programs and software systems. Fourth one, efficient coding. Once a flowchart is ready, programmers find it very easy to write the concerned program because the flowchart acts as a roadmap for them. It guides them in proceeding from the starting point of the program to the final point, ensuring that no steps are omitted. The ultimate result is the error free program developed at a faster rate. Fifth one, systematic debugging. Even after taking full care in programming design, some errors may remain in the program because the designer might have never thought of a particular case. These errors are detected only when we start executing the program on a computer. Such type of program error are called bugs, and the process of removing these errors is known as debugging. A flowchart is very helpful in detecting, locating and removing mistakes or bugs in a program in a systematic manner. Sixth one, systematic testing. Testing is the process of confirming whether a program will successfully do all the jobs for which it has been designed under the specified constraints. For testing a program, different sets of data are fed as input to that program to test the different paths in the program logic. Flowchart types. The graphical representation called a flowchart is used to design the flow of information from the start of a program till its end. Flowcharts are classified based on their purpose as system flowcharts and program flowcharts. A system flowchart gives a big picture look of the system. A program flowchart shows the logical association with the computer program. Variables and data names. A variable is an entity that may vary during program execution. For example, let x be an integer variable which can store a value that can be changed during the execution of a program. Let x is equal to 5. After adding an integer value, say 2, the value of x will be varied to 7. Variable names are names given to locations in memory. These locations can contain integer, real or character constants. Data names or data type refers to the type of data that may be stored in a variable. In programming, a data name or data type is a set of values and predefined operations to manipulate these values. Some examples of data names can be alphabet indicating a set of characters, or names indicating names a sequence of characters, or ages indicating integer numbers, or price indicating real numbers, or salaries, calories, all kinds of measures and so on. Each data has its own specifics, where one type of data is good for a given situation, it could not work well in another. So, it is better to distinguish data based on their characteristics, advantages and disadvantages. For this, we have to initially understand their parameters, including purpose, size, range, sign, precision, etc. The purpose may be to store an integer or real or character or a Boolean value. Varying on the application, different data requires different size to be stored on. Usually, we measure it in bytes or shortly p. Depending on the size, the type could work with numbers from different ranges. If you try to store number which is out of the range, an overflow will occur and data will be lost. It is good to optimize your programs. If you do not need to use a big size or range type, you should use the smaller or shorter version. Of course, if you are unsure if the type is big enough, take the bigger range. It is better to take several bytes more than lose information because of an overflow. When signed, the type can represent both positive and negative numbers. Unsigned types work only with positive numbers and they can hold numbers twice bigger than signed. This applies to numeric types and could depend on the programming language. Coming to C language, It has the following basic built-in data types: int, float, double, char. Int represent integer, it holds integer values. For example, int a, here a is a variable that holds integer type values. Char, char represents character holding one character. For example, char c. Char data type can also be used to initialize a string as an array of characters. For example, char name 10. Here name is declared as string that represents an array which can hold a maximum of 10 character elements. Float, float holds single precision floating values. For example, float height, where height is a float type variable. Double, double holds double precision floating values. Apart from these built-in data types, C also supports user defined data types, which will be discussed in the later sessions. Programming statements. Programming statements are the commands given to the computer that instructs the computer to do a specific action, such as display to the screen or collect input. A computer program is made up of a series of such statements. Label statements. A statement can be preceded by a label. For example, go to label. Here label shows the target of the go to statement. Compound statements. It groups multiple statements into a single statement. It consists of multiple statements and declarations enclosed within braces. For example, and within curly braces. For example, start curly brace pi equal to 3.14 semicolon, area equal to pi into radius semicolon, close the braces. Expression statements. An expression statement consists of an optimal expression followed by a semicolon. If the expression is present, the statement may have a value. If no expression is present, the statement is often called the null statement. Selection statements. There are three types of selection statements. The first one, simple if. Syntax, if expression statement. In this type of if statement, the statement will be executed only when the expression is non-zero or true. Second one is if else. Syntax is if expression, then statement 1, else statement 2. In this type of if statement, the statement 1 will be executed if the expression is non-zero, otherwise the statement 2 will be executed. Third one is switch statements. Switch statements are also a type of selection statement. They have the format of switch expression within curly braces, case 1, statement 1, break, case 2, statement 2, break, default, statement 3, break, close the braces. Iteration statements. C has three kinds of iteration statements. First one is the while statement. While statement is of the form while, then control expression within curly braces statements. The statement inside the braces run repeatedly until the control expression evaluates to 0, otherwise it may not run at all. Second type is do while. Do while statement is of the form do within curly braces statements, then while control expression. Here the control expression is evaluated at the end of the loop instead of the beginning and consequently the statements inside the brackets must execute at least once. Third one is for statement. For statement is of the form for, then there are 3 sessions. One is the variable initialization state, then second condition, and the third portion is increment or decrement within the braces. Then the statement follows that. The initialization step is executed first and only once. This step allows you to declare and initialize any loop control variables. Condition is evaluated next. If it is true, the statement 1 within the body of the loop is executed. If it is false, it does not execute and the flow of control jumps to the next statement just after the for loop. After the body of the for loop executes, the flow of control jumps back up to the increment statement. This statement allows you to update any loop control variables. Next is the flowchart symbols. A flowchart uses predefined symbols. The different predefined flowchart symbols you can see on the screen. The first one is the terminal symbol, which indicates the starting or end point of the program. The second one is the arrow, indicates the direction of flow of statements. The third one is input or output statements. The fourth one, rectangle, it is the indicates the process, and the next one is the diamond shaped symbol, which used for decision making, and the other one is the connector, that is the small circle, and the next one is the loop symbol, and finally you can use the symbol for command controls. Now, let us see the use of each symbol in detail. The first one is the terminal symbol, which indicates the start or end of a flowchart. It is an oval shaped symbol that represents start or end point. Ideally, a terminal symbol is used to indicate start, begin or end of a flowchart. In addition, if the program logic calls for a pause in the program, that also is indicated with the terminal symbol. A pause is normally used in the program logic under some error conditions or in case the forms had to be changed in the computer's line printer during the processing of that program. The second one is the input output symbol. Input output symbol is a parallelogram that represents input or output to a program. If there is a program instruction to input data from a disk, tape, card reader, terminal or any other type of input device, that step will be indicated in the flowchart with an input output symbol. Similarly, all output instructions, whether it is output on a printer, magnetic tap, magnetic disk, terminal screen or any output device, are indicated in the flowchart with an input output symbol. Next is the process symbol. A rectangle is used to represent a process, action or an operation which is mostly include some verbs. This symbol represents arithmetic and data movement instructions. Thus, all arithmetic processes such as adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing are shown by a process symbol. The logical process of moving data from one location of the main memory to another is also denoted by this symbol. When more than one arithmetic and data movement instructions are to be executed consecutively, they are normally placed in the same processing box and they are assumed to be executed in the order of their appearances. For example, calculate some that is sum equal to a plus b, etc. Decision symbol. A diamond indicates a decision used to represent a question in a flowchart. Decision symbol have a single point of entry, but many have multiple exits. The exit is determined by the answer to the question and separated by different arrows coming out of the diamond. For example, there can be two exits, yes and no. The condition upon which each of the possible exit paths will be executed should be identified, and all the possible paths should be accounted for. During execution, the appropriate path is followed depending upon the result of the decision. The connectors. The connectors are used to show the direction of flow of control. If a flowchart becomes very long, the flow lines start crisscrossing at many places, that causes confusion and reduces the clarity of the flowchart. Moreover, there are instances when a flowchart becomes too long to fit in a single page and the use of flow lines become impossible. Thus, whenever a flowchart becomes too complex that the number and the direction of flow lines is confusing, or it spreads over more than one page, it is useful to utilize the connector symbol as a substitute for flow lines. This symbol represents an entry from or an exit to another part of the flowchart. A connector symbol is represented by a circle, and a letter or digit is placed within the circle to indicate the link. A pair of identically labeled connector symbols are commonly used to indicate a continued flow when the use of a line is confusing. So, two connectors with identical labels serves the same function as a long flow line. That is, they show an exit to some other chart section, or they indicate an entry from another part of the chart. To determine if a connector is used as an entry or an exit point, we look whether if an arrow enters but does not leave a connector, then it is an exit point and the program control is transferred to the identically labeled connector that does have an outlet. It may be noted that connectors do not represent any operation, and their use in a flowchart is only for the sake of convenience and clarity. A loop symbol indicates a sequence of commands that will continue to repeat until a condition is satisfied. Flow lines with arrowheads are used to indicate the flow of operation, that is, the exact sequence in which the instructions are to be executed. The normal flow of flowchart is from top to bottom and left to right. Arrowheads are required only when the normal top to the bottom flow is not to be followed. However, as a good practice and in order to avoid confusion, flow lines are usually drawn with an arrowhead at the point of entry to a symbol. Good practice also dictates that flow lines should not cross each other and that such intersections should be avoided whenever possible. The comment symbol. The comment symbol, also called as not symbol, which is used to add an explanation or a comment connected by a dashed line to the relevant section of the flowchart. The general tips to be considered while designing a flowchart are as follows. The first one is, first formulate the main line of the logic, then incorporate the details. Second one, maintain a consistent level of detail for a given flowchart. Next one, do not give every detail on a flowchart. A reader who is interested in greater details can refer to the program itself. Next one, words in the flowchart symbol should be common statements and easy to understand. Next one, be consistent in using names and variables in the flowchart. The final one, go from left to right and top to bottom in constructing the flowchart. Now, we can design a simple flowchart to find the sum of two numbers. The flowchart begins with the terminal symbol start. Here, there are two variables n1 and n2. To read these values, we use the input symbol parallelogram. The value of sum is stored in the variable sum. The process of finding sum is depicted in the flowchart using the rectangle. The output value is represented using the parallelogram again. This prints the value inside the variable sum. Finally, the terminal symbol stop ends the flowchart. Let us go through another example of designing a flowchart to find the largest from the three entered numbers. Here, we read three values to the variables a, b and c. First, check whether a is greater than b. If yes, then check a with c. If yes, then print a is the largest number. If a is not greater than b, then check b with c. If yes, print b is the largest number, otherwise c is the largest number. Finally, the stop symbol indicates the end of the program. Now, let us summarize what we have discussed in this session. Here we discussed about how to solve a problem in a systematic way and explains the use of flowchart. Flowchart is a pictorial or graphical representation of a process, and its purpose is to communicate how a process works. Flowcharts play an important role in programming and are quite useful in understanding the logic of complicated and lengthy problems. Flowcharts are used in analyzing, designing, documenting or managing a process or program in various fields. Flowcharts are generally drawn in the early stage of formulating computer solutions. Once the flowchart is drawn, it is easy to write the program. A good flowchart is like a snapshot of a program which tells you at a glance where the information originates, how it handles the information and produces the desired outputs. A flowchart uses predefined symbols such as terminal symbol, input output processes, decision symbols, etc. A computer program is made up of a series of statements. Programming statements are the commands given to the computer that instructs the computer to do a specific action, such as display to the screen or collect input, etc. Commonly used programming statements are label statements, compound statements, expression statements and iterative statements. Now, let us try to work out some assignments from this topic. First one is explain flowchart and symbols. Second one, draw a flowchart for checking whether the entered number is prime or not. Third one, which are selection statements, explain with example. Next one, explain about programming statements in detail. Here I can suggest some more books for your further study. The C programming language, written by B.W. Kernighan and D.M. Ritchie, Prentice Hall Publications, Engelwood's Cliffs, New Jersey, 1978. Absolute Beginner's Guide to C by Greg Perry, 2nd edition, Sam's Publishing, April 1994. Let us see by Yashwant Kanedkar, BPB Publications, New Delhi. Thank you for watching this session. See you in the next session with a new topic. Until then, bye.